the legacy of Asma Jahangir.
If you want to shout, go out. There you can shout, because shouting is not a discussion. That is what it is. If you want to discuss, come here, we discuss, but don't shout. Shouting is not a behavior. Shame on you. So, I would actually... So, Germany is a proud supporter of this conference for many years now. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the theme of this conference, which is the role of judiciary in safeguarding civil rights. Constitutions guarantee basic rights. And in the case of our constitution, of course, we have a catalogue of basic rights with all the usual suspects in there, like freedom of speech, which seems to be a problem, and then, of course, also freedom of assembly, freedom of religion and belief, this freedom or protection from discrimination. But the mother of all basic rights is the protection of human dignity, and the inviolability of human dignity is also the basic right that is the yardstick for all other basic rights, which all these basic rights should be interpreted along the protection of and the inviolability of human dignity. This actually brings us in a commonality with Pakistan, because there are not too many countries in the world that have an explicit guarantee of the inviolability of human dignity. Apart from Pakistan and Germany, it's only, as far as to my knowledge, two more other countries. And in Pakistan has this in its Article 14, and that, of course, yes, it is something which not everybody has that in that sense explicitly. So now, when it comes to the role of the judiciary here, so the basic rights, or the Constitution guarantees the right, but it's the courts that interpret, safeguard, and develop further those rights. And in our case, is also the Constitutional Court, who explicitly says that no basic rights have to be, or is the guardian of those rights, and therefore puts in the safeguard that, how to put that, that to prevent that the rule of law will be substituted with the rule by law. So that is, I would say, the most important role of the judiciary in safeguarding the rights, or basic rights, is that it guarantees that it's not only on a paper, but it's also implemented and really protecting us every day in our day-by-day life from violations of our human rights. And when it comes to the protection and inviolability of human dignity, it may be a lofty concept, but just two examples of Pakistan, what it can lead to when the courts step in and interpret that right, and what it means. And one of the basic interpretations is that no human being should be used to an end. And deriving also from that, Pakistan courts in that sense have developed that, for example, there is a very concrete example, there is no compulsory DNA testing in criminal procedures. And also the interpretation of the article of the inviolability of human dignity in the Pakistani constitution led to the end of the infamous two-finger testing in rape cases. So we'll see these things have concrete consequences and have concrete positive effects on us all. So And what is now our role here in this conference? Our role in the conference, yeah, also courts do not operate in a vacuum. Courts need input, courts need inspiration, and this intellectual discussions here and the academic discussions here and the things that we all developed here serve for the courts to draw inspiration, and very often all these, the results of such conferences of academic writing are used and are also incorporated in the court's ruling when protecting and developing basic and human rights. So I think it's a useful exercise that we are here, and I wish us all fruitful discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. First, let me begin by apologizing for the disorder, and let me make it clear that the conference it talks about, as we said in the start, it is about having critical, uncomfortable discussions. I mentioned this earlier, I'll mention it again. We have a session on Gaza, which I am moderating. We have Shawan Jabreen, who's traveled from the West Bank, sitting with us right now, who's the Director General of Al-Haq in Palestine. So what I need to apologize for is the disorder, is the disruption. So I apologize for that, and we assure that this will not happen again. With that, I would invite Her Excellency Ambassador Cuenca, the European Union's Ambassador to Pakistan.
Okay. No, I need the space here. Okay. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. It's wonderful to be back here at the Asma Jahangir Conference, which is an apt way to honor the memory of this trailblazer, this powerhouse, this extraordinary human being that was Asma. One of my colleagues at the European Union delegation suggested that her influence, it could be argued that her influence in passing and in her death is possibly even greater than it was during her life, given the kinds of programs, people gathered in this room today, the kinds of discussions that are going on, the fact that many individuals and organizations continue to follow the direction that she set. The European Union is proud to have supported this conference from the very beginning, and we're widely represented here, not only our member states whom you see on the panel, but also the ones sitting in the hall. I congratulate the AGHS Legal Aid Cell, the Asma Jahangir Foundation, and not the least of which the Supreme Court Bar Association for organizing this 5th edition. What unites us here, first and foremost, is of course the memory of Asma Jahangir. But we're also united here to discuss the pressing human rights issues of the day, and notably the role of law, the judiciary, and all members of the judicial profession in upholding human rights as set out in national and international laws. As my colleague from the Netherlands said, at the heart